Australia, a vast land, was entirely colonized by the United Kingdom. However, it was not the first European country to discover Australia. That honor goes to the Netherlands. Despite several nations having nearby interests, there was no frantic scramble to claim the land, leaving Britain as the sole settler. This raises the question of why Australia was left unclaimed and why it became the domain of Britain. The Dutch first discovered Australia in 1606 and named it New Holland after their homeland. Over the following century, sailors from various countries visited the Australian coast and mapped its territories. The Dutch East India Company considered the idea of colonizing New Holland, but due to the lack of known resources and limited indigenous populations to exploit, they ultimately abandoned the venture. In the latter half of the 18th century, the British mapped the eastern coastline of Australia and identified several interesting locations. 2 decades later, the British government decided to colonize the area of Botany Bay. 3 main reasons influenced this decision. Firstly, they sent convicts, so the outcome didn't matter much. Secondly, Britain sought strategic locations for raiding enemy shipping during potential future wars. Thirdly, they believed the colonization process would be relatively straightforward due to the absence of other major powers' attempts and the scarcity of native resistance. In 1788, the British established the settlement of Sydney in what is now New South Wales. Subsequently, no other European power attempted to seize the rest of Australia from the British. The Dutch were content with Britain initially conceding half of Australia to them if they desired it. European expansion saw a shift in power dynamics due to the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars. While the French explored potential settlement sites, the British quickly built small settlements to preempt their efforts. France's prior aggressions against Britain prevented them from colonizing Australia without triggering a war. Moreover, Spain and Portugal were experiencing financial difficulties and decline, while Germany, a newly founded nation, later expressed interest in the region. However, the fear of German colonial expansion in the area spurred Australian unification, leaving no room for other countries to stake their claims. Consequently, Australia remained under British control until it gained independence in the 20th century.